Okay guys, so we are back with the Thor Ragnarok teaser trailer breakdown. Now if you guys want my reaction, check it out up in that exclamation point that pops up. And also, if you guys want to see what happened that went wrong with Thor the Dark World, check out my Marvel Cinematic Universe retrospective, also up there. But now, let's get into breaking down this trailer. So right as the trailer begins, we see Thor being dropped down on a chain from the sky underground. Now obviously, as you look at the environment around him, you're going to notice fire, you're going to notice burning. This is clearly the hell version of hell. It's where he's going to get sent when he has failed, when he's at his lowest point ever. Now, as it goes, this is probably in the first quarter of the film or so. This is setting up why he's going to get sent out of here, why, he's going to be in the gladiatorial arena, his haircut and everything. So this is definitely got to be in the first half of the movie. Now, speaking of Hel, let's talk about the villain of the movie, Hela. Obviously, right here, we see her. She's holding Mjolnir, Thor's mighty hammer, and we see that this place takes place on Earth. Now, obviously, we know that on Earth, he has to seek out the help of a particular person, and that would be Doctor Strange. Now, we still don't know how Doctor Strange is going to play the role in this, because it looks like, he was also helping with Loki from what we've seen before. And when we get to talk about Loki in a little bit, there might be some games being played here with the character. But we do see that Hela actually destroys Mjolnir, sending a giant pulse of energy exploding through the streets and back alleys of New York. And it's a pretty effective way to tell you, listen, look how strong I am. I can destroy the mighty hammer. And since we were talking about Hela, let's talk about this scene right here where we see her in the comic accurate outfit, which honestly I never thought we were going to see. I don't know why. I doubt it. Marvel, they have a talking raccoon and goddamn even more insanity, so this isn't really that far of a stretch, but she looks perfect here. And honestly, I think this is going to be a flashback and not part of her outfit. I mean, we're gonna see her like this towards the end of the movie, but I honestly think that this is a flashback setting her character up and where she's been. But where she's been isn't as important as where she is, which would be Asgard. So the opening shot here of Asgard looking really awesome. We see the giant tower, we see the bridge. It just looks really well made. It looks different because we're seeing more of it. It's not doing this godly shot. It just looks like a good shot of the landscape and everything like that, which I really like, and I always like seeing more, specifically of these worlds that we never get to explore really as humans. It just kind of expands the world and makes it look different. And obviously, going to ground level, we see that Hela has arrived. She's walking down the steps, and we see all these Asgardian soldiers ready to take her on. Now, I don't think I need to tell you guys that this probably isn't going to be a success, as she is going to win. And we see her winning because, well, Asgard seems to be getting demolished in burning flames. Now, whether they're going to deal hell, quote-unquote, as an actual realm or something like that, or whether she's just transforming worlds into something that looks like hell in the afterworld, we don't really know. It could go either ways, and I'm okay with either one they take an approach to, because it just looks very different. And speaking of looking like hell, let's talk about Thor. So we still see he has the long hair here. So this is after the scene in Hell and everything. This is after he's lost. The Asgard's probably being ruled by Hela now, and it's not looking too good for him as he's arrived on this planet. This is the gladiatorial arena, and we see these ships that are scavenging all this destroyed land, and they're looking for components. They're looking for new fighters that have been brought here, and Thor is the latest capture, you can say. Now, what we see is that he's actually been captured in a net, and he's being dragged to the arena before the Grandmaster by the one and only Valkyrie. Now, Valkyrie in the comics, you guys know, she has a relationship with him. They work very closely together. They've been a couple. So if they're going to touch upon that here, or if there's a history between the characters, should be interesting to see. Now, speaking of history, here's another scene where we see Hela, and we see someone is flying on her on a Pegasus, what I assume. Now, we don't really know what this is. Like I said, I'm feeling that this is probably part of the flashback, although it could be part of the end fight, and maybe this is like Valkyrie or something on there, and she's charging towards her, which then that's pretty damn insane that this is what maybe Asgard looks like at the end of the movie. Like, it's literally a giant pit that's just been destroyed, which honestly, visually, that's going to look stunning. So next up, we have Thor. He's being dragged by all these people, and he's going to get locked up in a chair because he's got to get a makeover. Now, obviously, the makeover is going to include, him being confused, him kind of asking what the hell is going on, him probably questioning why everybody's doing this to him and where the hell he's landed. And there is only one man that can answer that question, and that is the Grand Master, played by Jeff Goldblum. Now, yes, this character is related to the Collector from Guardians of the Galaxy, and you can clearly tell that by his look, his hair, his little face thing on his chin and everything, so pretty cool. And obviously he runs the gladiatorial arena. Now, we do see that, yes, he is working closely with Valkyrie. Now, my theory is that she's working with him kind of reluctantly, almost like she's been trapped here. Maybe she fought in the arena, and she's earned her markings and her status to be brought up here to work alongside of him. And maybe that's why Thor hasn't, maybe that's why she's never been in the movies, because, hey, she's been here, and maybe they thought she was dead, but no, she's been fighting for her life here, and she's going to kind of have a resentment towards everybody on Asgard for not coming to rescue her, / whoever else is here. Now, obviously, as Asgard has fallen, we know there's quite a few important characters that are on Asgard. The Warriors 3 being some of them, but also Heimdall himself. Now, Heimdall can more or less see everything, unless he's maybe stopped, unless maybe the Bifrost is gone or some sort of weird magic happens. And we see him here in the woods fighting strange CG creatures, but we see, he's definitely on the run. He does not want to be found. So I don't think he's on the gladiatorial planet or anything like that. I think he's actually just running on Asgard, like making his last stand against the armies of Hela. So then we see a bunch of soldiers fighting around shooting weapons. Now, I'm willing to bet this is when Hulk and Thor are going to orchestrate to break out of the arena. This is definitely not Asgard. We can tell by the characters that are there. These are definitely characters that are fighting or taking part on whatever activities happening in this damn arena, and they look pretty damn awesome. So next up, a scene that happens on Asgard. So we see Hela take on her form, we see the horns and everything. So this is clearly more modern. This is probably when she's right there invading. This isn't part of flashback. Like I said, she's definitely going to grow the horns back or when the helmet comes on. So I'm willing to bet this is when Thor's already been exiled, and she's like, I'm taking Asgard, and I'm going to destroy this thing, and I'm going to destroy everything you guys hold dear. And she's probably going to just about plow with ease through hundreds of these soldiers, and I think it's going to be a stunning scene. After that, we see Loki himself walking down only what I assume is Asgard, just by the architecture and how everything is lit, and we see that he's carrying daggers. He has a much different outfit than what I'm used to, and look, if you look at the characters he's walking with, these guys aren't necessarily looking like they're going to do good for Asgard. So I'm willing to bet he's trying to help Asgard a little bit to some degree, but Loki's twisted way of helping isn't necessarily the right way. Which finally brings us to Thor. He's gotten this makeover. He's now in the arena. We see a much better look at his armor right now, what his new armor looks like. Obviously, he's war painted. He's been fighting in the arena. I'm gonna guess we see probably 2 or 3 fights at least, or at least montages of him kind of fighting to win, kind of to get the status of one of the best so he can face the champion of the arena. So we actually do see Thor's helmet, the new helmet, how it comes on him. I really like the way it's stylized. Like, he actually has to pull the things down and it looks more like a Thor helmet. So I'm willing to guess this isn't his actual helmet. This is one that's given to him by the arena, and the Grand Master direct, listen, you wear this because you're Thor, and if you don't, I'm going to punch you in the head harder. Well, I'm not going to punch you. This guy's going to punch you. And this is where we see who's going to punch him in the head, and that is the Incredible Hulk, the champion of the arena. Yes, this is Hulk from the Planet Hulk / World War Hulk, whatever you will. He's here. This is Bruce Banner. This is where he's been fighting for the last couple years. We haven't seen him. And chances are he's probably been stuck in Hulk form for quite a while. And we obviously see that, he's a force to be reckoned with on this planet. Now we see that Thor is excited to fight him because, well, it's a co-worker, as he says. This is a friend of his. It's it's the Hulk. They've worked together. And the interesting thing is, we see the Grandmaster here watching everything, but we also see Loki on the other side. Now, like the gladiatorial arena, like back in the day when you would fight in the Colosseum and various other places, if you're sitting on the actual, observer's platform looking over the arena, if you're sitting right here with the man that runs it, you are working with them. You are highly respected. So my guess is that Loki has kind of used his slippery tongue to get in here into his head and really pull himself out of doing this. So whatever Loki's doing, I think it's for the good of everything, but I think he's double scheming on the Grandmaster, and there's definitely going to be more to Loki than just, oh, he's reverted back to evil. And the big money shots in the trailer, we obviously see that Thor and Hulk jump at each other. Thor does not have any substitute for a hammer or anything. He's going to have swords in this. We know that from promotional images. And we see that him and Hulk are probably going to tear down the arena, as it looks like it's going to be an insane fight. So overall, really, really amazing trailer. I love the hell out of it. Can't wait to see more of it. I need more of this, because this looks like everything a Thor movie should be and more.